the turbulent theater of governance, where fortune's capricious nature holds sway and the whims of men dictate the course of empires. A ruler must exhibit an acumen that transcends mere valor and extends into the realms of strategy and cunning. To navigate such a perilous landscape, one must first recognize the immutable truths about power, its acquisition, and its preservation. It is not the virtuous who rise to prominence, nor the righteous who maintain their reign. It is the astute, the calculating, and the resolute who command the stage of history. To defeat one's enemies without sullying one's hands is not an art of deception alone, but a testament to the mastery of human nature and the dynamics of dominion. Let us first consider the nature of power itself, a force as ancient as humanity and as potent as the tides that shape the earth. Power, in its essence, is the ability to command the actions of others, to direct their wills towards ends that serve the sovereign's purpose. This is achieved not through brute strength alone, but through a careful orchestration of influence, fear, and loyalty. The wise ruler must understand that power is not a static possession, but a dynamic interplay of relationships, ever in flux and subject to the vicissitudes of fortune. To defeat your enemies without direct confrontation requires a profound understanding of these relationships and the ability to manipulate them to your advantage. It demands a keen insight into the motivations and desires of others, an ability to anticipate their moves and preempt their threats. This is the realm where strategy supersedes force, and where the mind becomes the mightiest weapon in a ruler's arsenal. Foremost among the tools at a ruler's disposal is the art of perception, to see the world as it is, rather than as one wishes it to be, is a rare gift indeed. The prince must discern the true nature of those around him, for men are seldom as they seem. They wear masks to conceal their intentions, to protect their vulnerabilities, and to deceive those who stand in their way. A ruler must be adept at piercing these veils, at recognizing the ambitions and fears that drive men to act. By understanding the motivations of others, the prince can predict their actions and manipulate them to his advantage. Consider the role of fear in maintaining control over one's subjects and adversaries alike. Fear, when wielded judiciously, can be a more potent instrument than love or loyalty. A ruler who is feared is less likely to be challenged, for the consequences of defiance are dire and immediate. Yet, fear must be tempered with respect. It must never morph into hatred, for hatred breeds rebellion and unrest. The prince must strike a delicate balance, instilling enough fear to command obedience, while ensuring that his subjects do not resent his authority. This requires a deft touch, the ability to demonstrate strength without resorting to cruelty, and to inspire respect without invoking terror. In matters of loyalty, one must be wary, for the allegiances of men are fickle and often driven by self-interest. A ruler should not rely solely on the loyalty of his subjects or allies, for such bonds are easily broken when they no longer serve the interests of those who pledged them. Instead, the wise prince cultivates a network of dependencies, where the interests of his subjects are so intertwined with his own that they cannot prosper without his favor. By ensuring that the prosperity of his subjects is inextricably linked to his rule, the prince secures their loyalty through necessity rather than sentiment. Deception, while often maligned, is an indispensable tool in the arsenal of the prudent ruler. To outwit one's enemies without direct conflict requires the ability to mislead and misdirect, to create illusions that obscure one's true intentions. The prince must master the art of subterfuge, planting seeds of doubt and discord among his adversaries, turning them against one another while he remains above the fray. This is the essence of defeating one's enemies without getting one's hands dirty to orchestrate a conflict in which others do the fighting. while the prince reaps the rewards. Yet, such strategies must be employed with caution and discernment, for deception can breed mistrust even among allies. A ruler must carefully choose when to employ such tactics, ensuring that his reputation for cunning does not overshadow his capacity for fairness and justice. It is a delicate balance, for a ruler who is perceived as duplicitous will find it difficult to maintain the trust of his subjects and the respect of his peers. In the pursuit of power, alliances are both a boon and a bane. They offer the promise of strength in numbers, but also the peril of divided loyalties and conflicting interests. A ruler must be astute in his choice of allies, selecting those whose goals align with his own and whose strength complements rather than competes with his. Such alliances must be forged, not from necessity alone, but from a shared vision of mutual benefit. In doing so, the prince ensures that his allies are invested in his success, for their fortunes are tied to his own. However, alliances are not to be relied upon indefinitely. The prince must be prepared for the eventuality that allies may become adversaries, and he must have contingencies in place to address such betrayals. By maintaining a position of strength and independence, the ruler can navigate the shifting landscape of alliances and enmities, ensuring that he remains the master of his own fate. In conclusion, the art of defeating one's enemies without getting one's hands dirty is a testament to the mastery of strategy, perception, and influence. It requires a profound understanding of human nature and the dynamics of power, an ability to manipulate the motivations and desires of others to one's advantage. In the tumultuous arena of governance, where the stakes are nothing less than the destiny of nations, the wise ruler must wield these tools with precision and foresight, ensuring that his reign is marked by both strength and sagacity. Only then can he secure his place in the annals of history, not as a tyrant or a conqueror, but as a sovereign who understood the true nature of power and wielded it with unparalleled skill. As we delve deeper into the subtle craft of governance, let us examine the critical role of information in the arsenal of a ruler. Information is the lifeblood of power, the unseen force that informs decisions and shapes destinies. To wield power effectively, a ruler must possess a network of intelligence as vast and intricate as the realm he governs. This network must be composed of loyal informants, capable spies, and shrewd advisors, all working to provide the ruler with insights into the machinations of allies and adversaries alike. In an age where knowledge is as valuable as gold, the wise prince must cultivate a culture of vigilance within his court. He must encourage the flow of information, rewarding those who bring him valuable intelligence and punishing those who withhold it. Yet, even here, caution is warranted. The ruler must be wary of false information, for deceit is a weapon often wielded by those who seek to manipulate the throne. Thus, the prince must develop an ability to discern truth from falsehood, employing advisors whose loyalty and judgment are beyond reproach. Consider also the art of timing, a critical component of political maneuvering. A decision made in haste or delay can spell the difference between triumph and catastrophe. The astute ruler recognizes the importance of timing in all matters of state, whether in launching a campaign, forging an alliance, or implementing reforms. He must learn to read the currents of political fortune, to act with alacrity when opportunity presents itself, and to bide his time when patience is warranted. This ability to strike at the opportune moment is often the hallmark of a successful reign. Moreover, the prince must understand the value of appearances. In the realm of power, perception often holds as much weight as reality. A ruler's image is a powerful tool, capable of inspiring loyalty, commanding respect, and deterring opposition. The wise prince must cultivate an image that reflects his strength and wisdom, while also projecting an aura of benevolence and justice. This facade must be carefully maintained, for even the slightest crack can breed doubt and dissent among subjects and rivals alike. In maintaining such an image, the ruler must also be adept at the art of rhetoric. Words are a potent instrument in the hands of a skilled orator, capable of swaying public opinion and inciting action. A prince must master the language of persuasion, using it to rally his subjects to his cause, to justify his actions, and to disarm his critics. Through eloquence and clarity, the ruler can shape the narrative of his reign, ensuring that his deeds are remembered in the light most favorable to him. Yet, even as the ruler navigates the intricate dance of power, he must never lose sight of the ultimate goal, the stability and prosperity of his state. All actions, whether cunning or benevolent, must serve this higher purpose. For it is the stability of the realm that ensures the longevity of the ruler's power and the legacy of his reign. A wise prince understands that his own interests are inextricably linked to the well-being of his state, and he governs with this principle as his guiding star. To this end, the prince must be willing to make sacrifices and hard choices, prioritizing the needs of the state over personal desires or vendettas. He must cultivate an ability to see beyond the immediate consequences of his actions, considering their long-term impact on the stability of his rule and the prosperity of his subjects. In doing so, he can navigate the treacherous waters of governance, ensuring that his reign is marked not by chaos and discord, but by order and prosperity. Finally, let us consider the role of adaptability in the maintenance of power. The world is in constant flux, shaped by forces both seen and unseen. A ruler who clings rigidly to outdated methods or ideologies will find himself swept aside by the tides of change. The successful prince must be flexible, willing to adapt his strategies and policies to meet the evolving needs of his state and the shifting dynamics of power. This requires a willingness to learn and grow, to embrace innovation and new ideas, and to recognize when it is time to abandon old ways in favor of new paths. In summary, the art of governance is a complex interplay of strategy, perception, and adaptability. It demands a deep understanding of human nature and the mechanics of power, as well as the wisdom to apply this knowledge in service to the state. A ruler who masters these arts can navigate the labyrinthine corridors of power with confidence, ensuring that his reign is both prosperous and enduring. In doing so, he secures not only his own legacy, but the future of his realm, guiding his people through the tumultuous seas of history with a steady and unyielding hand. As we continue our exploration of the subtleties of dominion, it is imperative to delve into the intricate balance between clemency and severity. For these are the twin pillars upon which a ruler's authority is often judged. A prince must possess the discernment to know when to extend mercy and when to wield the sword of justice. Each act of clemency or severity reverberates through the annals of governance, influencing the ruler's reputation and the stability of his realm. Clemency, when exercised judiciously, can serve as a powerful tool of reconciliation and loyalty. It softens the hearts of subjects and adversaries alike, transforming potential threats into allies and strengthening the bonds of fealty. However, clemency must never be mistaken for weakness. A ruler who is overly indulgent risks inviting contempt and insubordination, as subjects may perceive a lack of resolve in the face of transgressions. Thus, clemency must be reserved for those instances where it serves to reinforce the ruler's authority and enhance the stability of the state. Conversely, severity, though often feared and maligned, is a necessary instrument in the maintenance of order. It is the sharp edge that deters rebellion and enforces the rule of law. A ruler must be willing to exercise severity without hesitation when the security of the state is threatened, for allowing dissent to fester unchecked can lead to the erosion of power. Yet, severity must be applied with precision and fairness, for arbitrary cruelty breeds resentment and fosters rebellion. It is the wise ruler who strikes a balance, demonstrating both strength and justice in his governance. In managing the delicate equilibrium between clemency and severity, the ruler must also consider the role of justice. Justice is the foundation upon which the legitimacy of a ruler's authority rests. It is the assurance that the ruler's actions are guided by principles that transcend personal gain or vendetta. A just ruler inspires confidence and respect among his subjects, for they see in him a leader who governs with fairness and integrity. This perception of justice is paramount in maintaining the social contract between ruler and ruled, creating a stable and prosperous society where power is wielded with wisdom and restraint. Furthermore, the art of governance requires a deep understanding of human nature and the diverse motivations that drive individuals to action. A prince must recognize that not all subjects are motivated by the same desires or fears. Some seek wealth, others crave honor, while still others are driven by ambition or vengeance. By understanding these motivations, the ruler can tailor his strategies to align with the interests of his subjects, ensuring their cooperation and loyalty. This understanding of human nature also extends to the management of internal factions and rivalries within the court. A ruler must be ever vigilant to the shifting allegiances and power struggles that occur among his advisors and nobles. He must be adept at playing these factions against one another, ensuring that no single group becomes too powerful or threatens his authority. This requires a delicate touch, as the ruler must maintain the appearance of impartiality while subtly encouraging competition among his subordinates. In doing so, he prevents the consolidation of power that could lead to his downfall. Moreover, the prince must be prepared to adapt his strategies to the changing geopolitical landscape. Alliances and enmities are not static. They evolve with the shifting tides of power and influence. A ruler who remains stagnant in his approach will find himself outmaneuvered by more dynamic adversaries. Thus, the wise prince remains ever vigilant, ready to adjust his policies and alliances to reflect the realities of the world stage. In this regard, the ability to anticipate and respond to external threats is of paramount importance. A ruler must possess a keen understanding of the strengths and weaknesses of his neighbors, as well as the ambitions that drive their actions. By maintaining a vigilant watch over the external landscape, the prince can preempt potential threats and exploit opportunities to expand his influence. This requires not only intelligence and foresight, but also a willingness to engage in diplomacy and negotiation, using both words and deeds to secure the interests of the state. Finally, it is essential to recognize the role of innovation and progress in the maintenance of power. A ruler who clings to outdated methods and ideologies will find his state languishing in stagnation, unable to compete with more progressive neighbors. The wise prince embraces change, fostering a culture of innovation and adaptability within his realm. This includes encouraging advancements in technology, governance, and society, as well as being open to new ideas and perspectives. By doing so, the ruler ensures that his state remains vibrant and competitive, capable of meeting the challenges of an ever-evolving world. In conclusion, the art of governance is a multifaceted endeavor, requiring a deep understanding of human nature, an ability to balance competing interests, and a willingness to adapt to changing circumstances. It demands a ruler who is both just and formidable, capable of inspiring loyalty through both clemency and severity. In mastering these arts, The prince secures not only his own power, but the prosperity and stability of his realm, guiding his people toward a future marked by peace and progress. Such is the legacy of a ruler who understands the true nature of power and wields it with wisdom and grace. As we advance further into the intricate tapestry of rulership, it becomes imperative to address the indispensable role of adaptability in the face of change. The landscape of power is ever-shifting, shaped by the forces of chance, innovation, and the relentless march of time. A ruler who fails to adapt to these changes risks obsolescence and, ultimately, the demise of his reign. Thus, the astute prince must cultivate a mindset that embraces flexibility and foresight, allowing him to navigate the uncertain waters of governance with confidence and acumen. One of the most significant challenges a ruler faces is the inevitability of change within his own realm. Societies evolve. Driven by the aspirations and discontents of their constituents, a ruler who ignores these shifts will find his authority undermined by growing dissatisfaction and unrest. Therefore, the wise prince must remain attuned to the pulse of his people, understanding their needs and aspirations, and adjusting his policies accordingly. This requires a delicate balance, as the ruler must maintain the core tenets of his governance while allowing for necessary reforms that address the changing landscape. In this context, the ruler's capacity for innovation becomes a crucial asset. Innovation is not merely the province of technological advancement but encompasses all aspects of governance, including social, economic, and political reforms. A ruler who encourages a culture of innovation within his realm fosters an environment where new ideas and solutions can flourish. This not only strengthens the state in its ability to compete with rivals, but also ensures its resilience against internal and external pressures. Moreover, the prince must recognize the importance of education and knowledge in maintaining the vitality of his state. An educated populace is a powerful asset, capable of driving progress and innovation. By investing in education and fostering a culture of learning, the ruler ensures that his subjects are equipped to meet the challenges of an ever-changing world. This investment in human capital not only bolsters the state's economic and technological prowess, but also reinforces the social contract between ruler and ruled, as subjects perceive the tangible benefits of their loyalty and cooperation. The astute prince also understands that adaptability extends beyond the borders of his realm. In the complex web of international relations, a ruler must be prepared to adjust his strategies to the shifting dynamics of power and influence. This requires a keen understanding of the geopolitical landscape, as well as the ability to anticipate and respond to the ambitions of other states. Diplomacy, therefore, becomes an essential tool in the ruler's arsenal, allowing him to forge alliances, mitigate threats, and advance the interests of his state on the world stage. Diplomacy, however, is not merely the art of negotiation. It is the strategic deployment of influence and persuasion to achieve desired outcomes. A ruler skilled in diplomacy can transform potential adversaries into allies, leveraging their strengths to bolster his own position. This requires not only a deep understanding of the motivations and interests of other states, but also the ability to communicate effectively and persuasively. By mastering the art of diplomacy, the prince ensures that his state remains a formidable player in the global arena, capable of navigating the complexities of international relations with skill and confidence. In addition to diplomacy, the ruler must also be prepared to wield the more direct instruments of power when necessary. Military strength remains a critical component of statecraft, serving as both a deterrent against aggression and a means of projecting influence. However, the wise prince understands that military force should be employed judiciously, as a last resort rather than a first response. War is a costly and uncertain endeavor, fraught with risks and unintended consequences. Thus, the ruler must balance the need for military preparedness with the pursuit of peaceful resolutions, ensuring that his state remains secure without succumbing to the perils of perpetual conflict. As we reflect on the multifaceted nature of governance, it becomes clear that the true art of rulership lies in the ability to balance competing interests and forces. A ruler must be both flexible and resolute, innovative and prudent, commanding and compassionate. He must navigate the complexities of power with a deft hand, ensuring that his actions serve the greater good of his state and its people. In conclusion, the successful ruler is one who embraces the challenges of change with wisdom and foresight. He understands that power is not a static possession, but a dynamic force, shaped by the actions and decisions of those who wield it. By remaining adaptable and open to new ideas, the prince ensures that his reign is marked not by stagnation or decline, but by progress and prosperity. In doing so, he secures his legacy as a ruler who not only understood the nature of power, but wielded it with skill and grace, guiding his state toward a future of enduring strength and stability. As we delve further into the realm of governance, it becomes essential to address the subtle interplay between authority and legitimacy, two pillars upon which the edifice of rulership is built. Authority is the recognized power to command and enforce obedience, while legitimacy is the moral right to wield that power. A ruler who possesses authority without legitimacy is akin to a usurper, commanding compliance through fear rather than respect. Conversely, legitimacy without authority is impotent, unable to translate moral right into tangible control. The successful prince must cultivate both, ensuring that his rule is both respected and effective. The foundation of legitimacy lies in the perception of justice and fairness, a ruler who governs with an even hand, applying the laws impartially and ensuring that justice is served, earns the respect and loyalty of his subjects. This perception of fairness is critical, for it fosters trust in the ruler's decisions and actions, reinforcing the social contract between the sovereign and the people. It is through this lens of justice that subjects view the ruler not as a tyrant, but as a guardian of the realm, committed to the welfare of his state. To bolster this perception, the prince must engage in acts of public virtue, demonstrating his commitment to the common good. These acts need not be grandiose. Often, small gestures that address the immediate concerns of the people suffice to enhance the ruler's standing. By showing that he is attuned to the needs and aspirations of his subjects, the prince strengthens the bonds of loyalty and ensures that his authority is viewed as legitimate. Yet, legitimacy is not solely derived from justice and public virtue. It is also rooted in tradition and continuity. A ruler who respects and upholds the customs and institutions of his realm earns the loyalty of his subjects, who see in him a link to their shared heritage and identity. This continuity provides a sense of stability and predictability, assuring subjects that their way of life is preserved even as the state evolves. However, the wise prince knows that tradition must not be a shackle. He must balance reverence for the past with the necessity of progress, ensuring that his state remains dynamic and responsive to the challenges of the present. In the pursuit of legitimacy, the ruler must also be mindful of the narratives that shape his reign. History is written by those who wield power, and the stories that are told about a ruler's actions and intentions can significantly influence his standing among his subjects. The prince must therefore be proactive in crafting the narrative of his reign, ensuring that his deeds are portrayed in a light that reflects his virtues and accomplishments. This requires a keen understanding of communication and propaganda, as well as the ability to engage with the cultural and intellectual currents of the time. Moreover, the ruler must cultivate relationships with influential stakeholders within his realm, including the nobility, the clergy, and other power brokers. These groups often serve as the intermediaries between the ruler and the populace, shaping public perception and opinion. By securing their loyalty and support, the prince ensures that his legitimacy is reinforced through their influence and endorsement. This requires a delicate balance of power, as the ruler must ensure that these stakeholders remain allies rather than rivals, their interests aligned with those of the state. While legitimacy fortifies the ruler's position, it is authority that enables him to act decisively in the pursuit of his objectives. Authority is maintained through a combination of strength, competence, and the capacity to inspire confidence among subjects and allies. A ruler who demonstrates these qualities commands respect and obedience, for subjects are more likely to follow a leader who projects an aura of competence and decisiveness. However, authority must be exercised with restraint and judiciousness. A ruler who relies excessively on coercion or force undermines his legitimacy and risks alienating his subjects. Instead, authority should be wielded in such a way that it reinforces the ruler's legitimacy, demonstrating that his actions are guided by the principles of justice and the common good. This balance between authority and legitimacy is the hallmark of a successful reign, enabling the ruler to govern with both strength and wisdom. In conclusion, the art of rulership is a complex dance between authority and legitimacy, requiring the prince to cultivate both in equal measure. By ensuring that his actions are perceived as just and in alignment with the interests of his state, the ruler fortifies his legitimacy. Simultaneously, by exercising authority with competence and restraint, he commands the obedience and respect necessary to enact his vision for the realm. In mastering this delicate balance, the prince not only secures his own power, but also ensures the stability and prosperity of his state, guiding it toward a future marked by strength and resilience. As we proceed in our exploration of governance, it is vital to address the influence of fortune and the limits of human agency within the political sphere. Fortune, that unpredictable mistress, exerts a profound impact on the affairs of men, often determining the success or failure of even the most carefully laid plans. Yet, while fortune is capricious and uncontrollable, a wise ruler recognizes that it is not an insurmountable force. Rather, it is a factor to be anticipated and navigated, with prudence and adaptability serving as the helm through which its caprices can be directed or mitigated. The first step in managing fortune's influence is the cultivation of resilience, a quality that enables a ruler to withstand the vicissitudes of fate. Resilience is built through strategic foresight and preparation, ensuring that the state is equipped to endure unforeseen challenges. This involves establishing reserves of resources, cultivating a network of alliances, and maintaining a flexible governance structure that can adapt to sudden changes. By preparing for a range of potential scenarios, the ruler mitigates the risks posed by fortune, ensuring that his state remains robust and capable of weathering adversity. Furthermore, the astute prince must learn to discern opportunity within the chaos of fortune's whims. Often, moments of upheaval present unique opportunities for advancement, if only one is perceptive enough to recognize them. A ruler must cultivate an opportunistic mindset, ready to act decisively when fortune presents an opening. This requires both courage and insight, as well as the ability to act swiftly and effectively. Those who hesitate in the face of opportunity are often left behind, while those who seize the moment with confidence are propelled to greater heights. In addition to resilience and opportunism, the wise ruler must also exhibit the virtue of adaptability. The world is in a constant state of flux, and those who cling rigidly to past methods and beliefs will find themselves outpaced by more flexible and forward-thinking competitors. Adaptability involves a willingness to embrace change and innovation, to question established norms, and to seek out new solutions to emerging challenges. By fostering a culture of adaptability within his realm, the prince ensures that his state remains dynamic and competitive, capable of meeting the demands of an ever-evolving world. Moreover, the ruler must recognize the importance of cultivating a diverse and capable cadre of advisors and officials. These individuals serve as the eyes and ears of the state, providing the ruler with critical insights and counsel. By surrounding himself with advisors who possess a range of perspectives and expertise, the prince ensures that he is well-informed and capable of making sound decisions. This diversity of thought is essential in navigating the complexities of governance, as it allows the ruler to consider a variety of approaches and solutions to any given problem. While fortune may be beyond the control of any one ruler, the prince can nevertheless exert influence over the factors that shape its impact. By maintaining a vigilant watch over the affairs of his state and the broader geopolitical landscape, the ruler can anticipate potential shifts in fortune and position himself to respond effectively. This requires a proactive approach to governance, as well as a commitment to continuous learning and growth. In doing so, the ruler not only mitigates the risks posed by fortune, but also enhances his ability to capitalize on its favorable turns. In the interplay between fortune and agency, the ruler must also confront the ethical dimensions of his decisions. While pragmatism often dictates the course of action, the prince must remain cognizant of the moral implications of his choices. A ruler who acts without regard for ethics risks undermining his legitimacy and alienating his subjects. Therefore, the wise prince strikes a balance, ensuring that his actions serve the interests of the state while also upholding the principles of justice and integrity. This balance is not always easy to achieve, but it is essential for maintaining the trust and loyalty of the populace. In conclusion, the successful ruler is one who navigates the unpredictable currents of fortune with skill and prudence. By cultivating resilience, opportunism, and adaptability, the prince equips his state to endure and thrive amidst the uncertainties of the world. Through a commitment to ethical governance and informed decision-making, he ensures that his reign is marked by both strength and legitimacy. In mastering the delicate dance between fortune and agency, the ruler not only secures his own power, but also guides his state toward a future of sustained prosperity and stability. Such is the art of rulership, a testament to the enduring power of human agency in shaping the course of history. As we continue to unravel the complexities of rulership, it becomes imperative to consider the intricate dynamics of loyalty and betrayal, two forces that can make or break a ruler's reign. Loyalty is the bedrock upon which a stable and enduring rule is built, while betrayal lurks as a perennial threat, capable of undermining even the most formidable sovereign. Understanding the delicate interplay between these forces is crucial for any ruler seeking to maintain authority and ensure the longevity of his reign. Loyalty, in its most genuine form, is the unwavering commitment of subjects and allies to the ruler's cause. It is a powerful force that binds individuals to the sovereign, creating a cohesive and resilient state. However, loyalty cannot be commanded or coerced. It must be cultivated through trust, respect, and mutual benefit. A wise ruler recognizes that loyalty is earned, not given, and he must demonstrate through his actions that he is worthy of such allegiance. This involves acting with integrity, honoring commitments, and showing concern for the welfare of his subjects. To foster loyalty, the prince must also create an environment where subjects feel valued and secure. This includes ensuring that their basic needs are met, providing opportunities for advancement, and recognizing and rewarding merit. By aligning the interests of his subjects with those of the state, the ruler ensures that loyalty is not only a matter of personal devotion, but also of rational self-interest. In doing so, he creates a network of interdependencies that strengthen the bonds of allegiance and deter betrayal. Yet, even in the most harmonious of realms, the specter of betrayal looms large. Betrayal is often born of ambition, envy, or perceived injustice, and it can manifest in many forms, from subtle subterfuge to outright rebellion. A ruler must remain ever vigilant to the signs of discontent and intrigue, for betrayal often festers in the shadows, hidden from view until it is too late. Therefore, the prince must cultivate a keen awareness of the undercurrents within his court and realm, ensuring that he is informed of potential threats before they come to fruition. In managing the threat of betrayal, the ruler must balance vigilance with magnanimity. While it is essential to be aware of potential treachery, an atmosphere of suspicion and paranoia can be equally damaging, eroding trust and fostering resentment among subjects and allies. The wise prince must demonstrate both strength and clemency, addressing threats decisively while also offering paths to redemption for those who stray. By doing so, he can mitigate the risk of betrayal and maintain the loyalty of his subjects. Moreover, the ruler must recognize that betrayal is often a symptom of deeper issues within the state. It may arise from grievances that have gone unaddressed, power imbalances, or a lack of opportunity for certain groups. By addressing these underlying causes, the prince can reduce the likelihood of betrayal and foster a more harmonious and loyal realm. This requires a proactive approach to governance, one that is responsive to the needs and concerns of all subjects, not just those in positions of power. In addition to managing internal loyalty and betrayal, the ruler must also navigate the complex web of external alliances and enmities. In the realm of international relations, alliances are often fraught with uncertainty. As states pursue their own interests and priorities, the prince must be adept at managing these relationships, ensuring that alliances are built on a foundation of mutual benefit and shared goals. This requires a clear understanding of the motivations and intentions of other states, as well as the ability to negotiate and maintain strategic partnerships. However, the ruler must also be prepared for the possibility of betrayal by allies. As political landscapes shift and interests diverge, in such cases, the prince must have contingencies in place, ensuring that his state is not overly reliant on any single alliance and that alternative paths are available. This requires a flexible and dynamic approach to diplomacy, one that is capable of adapting to changing circumstances and seizing opportunities as they arise. In conclusion, the art of rulership is deeply intertwined with the dynamics of loyalty and betrayal. By cultivating loyalty through trust, respect, and mutual benefit, the ruler strengthens the bonds that hold his state together. Simultaneously, by remaining vigilant to the threat of betrayal and addressing its root causes, the prince safeguards his authority and ensures the stability of his realm. In mastering these dynamics, the ruler not only secures his own power, but also guides his state toward a future of peace and prosperity. Such is the delicate balance of governance, a testament to the enduring complexity of human nature and the intricate dance of power. As we press forward in our examination of governance, it is essential to address the profound impact of public perception and the art of image crafting on the efficacy of a ruler's reign. In the theater of politics, perception often holds as much weight as reality, shaping the narrative of a ruler's authority and influencing the loyalty and morale of his subjects. A wise prince understands that his image is not merely a reflection of his actions, but a strategic tool that can be molded to serve the interests of the state. The foundation of a ruler's image lies in the projection of strength and competence. Subjects are more inclined to follow a leader who exudes confidence and decisiveness, as these qualities inspire trust and assure them of the ruler's capability to guide the state through both calm and turbulent times. This projection of strength is not merely about physical might, but encompasses the ruler's ability to make sound decisions, maintain order, and achieve tangible successes. A prince must be ever mindful of how his actions are perceived, ensuring that his image reinforces his authority and legitimacy. Central to the crafting of a ruler's image is the mastery of communication. The prince must be adept at conveying his vision, intentions, and achievements to his subjects and allies alike. This requires clarity, eloquence, and the ability to resonate with the values and aspirations of the populace. Through effective communication, the ruler can shape public opinion, rally support for his initiatives, and counteract the narratives of adversaries. It is not enough to simply act. The prince must also articulate the rationale and benefits of his actions, creating a narrative that aligns with the interests of the state and its people. In the realm of image crafting, symbolism plays a crucial role. Symbols are powerful tools that encapsulate the essence of a ruler's identity and the values of his reign. They serve as visual representations of authority, unity, and continuity. A wise prince employs symbols strategically, using them to evoke emotions and reinforce his presence in the minds of his subjects. Whether through heraldry, architecture, or public ceremonies, these symbols communicate the ruler's strength and legitimacy, fostering a sense of pride and loyalty among the populace. However, the crafting of a ruler's image must be grounded in authenticity. While perception can be shaped and manipulated, it must ultimately reflect the underlying reality of the ruler's character and actions. Deceptive or disingenuous portrayals are unsustainable and risk eroding trust once the facade is pierced. Therefore, the prince must ensure that his image is a true reflection of his leadership, balancing the ideal with the achievable and the aspirational with the practical. Moreover, the ruler must be vigilant against the forces that seek to tarnish his image. In the competitive arena of politics, adversaries will undoubtedly attempt to undermine the ruler's authority through misinformation and slander. The prince must be prepared to counter these attacks with truth and transparency, addressing falsehoods decisively and reinforcing the integrity of his image. This requires a proactive approach to reputation management, ensuring that the ruler remains in control of the narrative surrounding his reign. As we consider the broader implications of image crafting, it is also important to acknowledge the role of culture and tradition in shaping public perception. A ruler who understands and respects the cultural values and historical context of his realm can more effectively engage with his subjects and build a cohesive national identity. By aligning his image with the cultural heritage of the state, the prince not only strengthens his legitimacy but also fosters a sense of unity and continuity that transcends the challenges of the present. In conclusion, the art of image crafting is a vital component of effective governance, shaping the perception of a ruler's authority and influencing the loyalty of his subjects. Through the strategic projection of strength, effective communication, and the use of symbolism, the prince can craft an image that reinforces his legitimacy and advances the interests of the state. By grounding this image in authenticity and aligning it with the cultural values of his realm, the ruler ensures that his reign is marked by both respect and resilience. In mastering this art, the prince not only secures his own power but also guides his state toward a future of stability and prosperity, demonstrating the enduring power of perception in the complex dance of governance. As we continue to explore the multifaceted nature of effective governance, it becomes crucial to examine the strategic deployment of resources, a cornerstone of statecraft that underscores a ruler's ability to both maintain power and foster prosperity. The prudent management of resources, whether they be economic, human, or natural, is essential for the stability and growth of the realm. A wise prince recognizes that resources are not merely commodities to be expended, but strategic assets to be cultivated and leveraged for the greater good of the state. The first pillar of resource management is economic stewardship. A flourishing economy is the backbone of a strong state, providing the wealth necessary to support the ruler's initiatives, maintain a capable military, and ensure the welfare of the populace. The prince must foster an environment conducive to economic growth, encouraging innovation, trade, and industry. This involves creating policies that promote entrepreneurship, protect property rights, and ensure a fair and competitive market. By nurturing economic vitality, the ruler not only enhances the prosperity of his state, but also strengthens the loyalty of his subjects, who see their own fortunes tied to the success of the realm. In addition to fostering economic growth, the ruler must also manage the state's finances with prudence and foresight. This requires a careful balance between revenue generation and expenditure, ensuring that the state's coffers remain robust and capable of supporting both routine operations and unforeseen emergencies. The prince must avoid the pitfalls of excessive taxation, which can stifle economic activity and breed resentment, while also being vigilant against wasteful spending and corruption. By maintaining fiscal discipline and transparency, the ruler ensures that the state's resources are utilized effectively and sustainably. Equally important is the strategic management of human resources. The subjects of a state are its most valuable asset, and their talents and labor are critical to the achievement of the ruler's objectives. The prince must invest in the education and development of his people, ensuring that they possess the skills and knowledge necessary to contribute meaningfully to the state's progress. This investment in human capital not only enhances the state's economic and technological capabilities, but also fosters a sense of empowerment and engagement among the populace. Furthermore, the ruler must recognize the importance of merit-based advancement within the state's institutions. By promoting individuals based on their abilities and contributions rather than their connections or lineage, the prince ensures that the most capable and dedicated individuals are in positions of influence. This meritocratic approach not only enhances the efficiency and effectiveness of governance, but also reinforces the legitimacy of the ruler's authority, as subjects perceive a fair and just system that rewards talent and effort. In the realm of natural resources, the prince must adopt a stewardship mindset, recognizing that these assets are both finite and essential for the long-term prosperity of the state. The wise ruler implements policies that promote sustainable use and conservation, ensuring that natural resources are not depleted or degraded for short-term gain. This involves balancing economic development with environmental protection, fostering innovation in resource management, and engaging with stakeholders to develop solutions that serve the interests of both the state and its environment. Moreover, the strategic deployment of resources extends beyond the borders of the state, encompassing the cultivation of trade relations and diplomatic engagements. By forging alliances and partnerships with other states, the ruler can access new markets, technologies, and opportunities for collaboration. These external engagements not only enhance the state's economic prospects, but also bolster its geopolitical influence, positioning it as a formidable player on the world stage. In conclusion, the strategic management of resources is a fundamental aspect of effective governance, shaping the prosperity and stability of the state through prudent economic stewardship, investment in human capital, and sustainable management of natural resources. The prince ensures that his realm is equipped to meet the challenges of the present and the uncertainties of the future. By leveraging these assets in both domestic and international contexts, the ruler not only secures his own power, but also guides his state toward a future of enduring strength and prosperity. In mastering this art, the prince demonstrates the profound impact of resource management in the intricate dance of governance, ensuring that his reign is marked by both wisdom and foresight. As we delve further into the intricate art of governance, it is imperative to consider the vital role of innovation and forward-looking policies in sustaining the vitality and competitiveness of a state. In an era marked by rapid technological advancements and shifting global dynamics, a ruler who remains stagnant risks consigning his realm to obsolescence. Thus, the wise prince must embrace change and foster a culture of innovation, ensuring that his state remains at the forefront of progress and capable of adapting to new challenges and opportunities. Innovation begins with the cultivation of a spirit of inquiry and experimentation within the state. The ruler should encourage an environment where new ideas are welcomed and rigorously tested, where failure is seen not as a setback, but as a learning opportunity. By promoting research and development, supporting scientific endeavors, and fostering creativity across all sectors, the prince ensures that his state remains dynamic and forward-thinking. This commitment to innovation not only enhances the state's economic and technological capabilities, but also positions it as a leader in the global arena. Moreover, the ruler must recognize the importance of education as the foundation of innovation. A well-educated populace is better equipped to generate new ideas, solve complex problems, and drive the state forward. The prince should invest in a robust educational system that emphasizes critical thinking, adaptability, and lifelong learning. This investment in human capital not only empowers individuals to reach their full potential, but also ensures that the state has a skilled and versatile workforce capable of meeting the demands of a rapidly changing world. In addition to fostering innovation domestically, the ruler must also engage with the broader international community, seeking out opportunities for collaboration and knowledge exchange. By building alliances with other states, participating in global networks, and engaging in cultural and scientific exchanges, the prince can access new technologies, ideas, and perspectives that can enrich his own state. This openness to external influences not only enhances the state's innovative capacity, but also reinforces its position as an influential and respected member of the international community. However, the pursuit of innovation must be balanced with a consideration of its broader implications. The ruler must ensure that technological advancements and economic progress do not come at the expense of social cohesion or environmental sustainability. This requires a holistic approach to policy making, one that considers the long-term impacts of innovation on society and the environment. By adopting a responsible and ethical approach to innovation, the prince ensures that progress serves the interests of all subjects, not just a privileged few. Furthermore, the ruler must be prepared to address the challenges and disruptions that often accompany innovation. Technological advancements can lead to shifts in labor markets, changes in social structures, and the emergence of new ethical dilemmas. The prince must be proactive in managing these transitions, ensuring that the benefits of innovation are widely distributed and that those affected by change are supported and empowered to adapt. This requires a commitment to social justice and equity, as well as the development of policies and programs that promote inclusion and resilience. In conclusion, the embrace of innovation is a critical component of effective governance, enabling a state to remain competitive and resilient in a rapidly evolving world. By fostering a culture of inquiry, investing in education, and engaging with the international community. The ruler ensures that his state remains at the cutting edge of progress. By balancing innovation with ethical considerations and social responsibility, the prince secures not only the prosperity of his realm but also the well-being of his subjects. In mastering the art of innovation, the ruler demonstrates the capacity to navigate the complexities of modern governance, guiding his state toward a future marked by both progress and sustainability. Such is the challenge and opportunity of leadership in an age of change, a testament to the enduring power of foresight and adaptability in the intricate dance of governance.